Hey, ladies. Sorry for my voice. I'm still recovering from COVID, my little souvenir I brought back from Brazil. But today, hey, I put on makeup and jewelry to convince myself that normalcy is returning. So I wanted to take this opportunity to go ahead and record this video for July 29th, um, at which point we will have been through week 6 of the Psalm study. And as I read those Psalms last week, I was particularly struck by Psalm 121. You know, we have a tendency sometimes to sentimentalize or romanticize little bits that we pull out of Scripture. And the beginning of Psalm 121 is one of the places where that happens. And it's happened in my own life. Psalm 121, which is one of those songs that pilgrims sang as they marched toward Jerusalem to worship in the temple. It starts out this way: I lift up my eyes to the hills. From where will my help come? And, when we're out hiking in nature and if we're out where we can see the mountains, there's a sense of sometimes looking up to the hills and finding power and strength and encouragement in that majestic beauty. And in fact, I think the question is posed at the beginning of this psalm to sort of lead us to just lean into the easy answer. I lift up my eyes to the hills. From where will my help come from? It'll come from the hills. But we need to back off and examine that a minute. Because in the context of ancient Israel, lifting one's eyes up to the hills had very significant connotations. In the land where Israel lived, the hills, the high places, were the very places where the worship of Yahweh was mixed in with the worship of other gods, the Baals and the Asherahs and the Ashtaroths and the Ishtars, where Israel time and time again hedged its bets. We'll hold on to Yahweh with this hand, but let's go up to the high place just in case Baal has something to offer us. And so lifting your eyes up to the high places was a very dangerous thing for the people of God to do. And even for these pilgrims, as they were walking up the incline, it's not really a mountain, it's more a steep incline into Jerusalem, there was the temptation to lift your eyes up to Jerusalem, to the temple, to these visible representations, these visible symbols of the presence and power and provision of God. And to let their eyes get focused on those physical, visible things rather than on God Himself. And so these pilgrims probably faced a dual danger of misplaced looking up, but looking at the wrong object. And I think the psalmist sets us up with this question in a way that makes verse 2 like an immediate cutting off at the knees of any of those other options. Listen to the sequence. I lift my eyes to the hills. From where will my help come? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. The psalmist is saying, right here is the only place that your eyes need to be. Help and security. Look at the things throughout the psalm. He will not let your foot be moved. He does not slumber. He is your keeper. He is the shade at your right hand, the one who protects and conceals you. He is the one who will keep you from evil, who keeps your life, who keeps your going out and your coming in, your steps, your ways. The only place that these pilgrims need to be looking for their security is at God Himself. And I think this is a timely word for us, because I think many of us have been tempted to look elsewhere, or to hold on to Yahweh with one hand, to hold on to the Lordship of Jesus with one hand, but hedge our bets with other potential sources of security, whether those are political or religious or ideological or economic or relational. But we've been tempted to lift our eyes up to things that are not worthy of our trust. And so this psalm calls us, I think, in this season, back to the answer of verse 2. Where does our help come from? Our help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. God bless you.